There we go. It was an unusual start, I know, because I didn't have the countdown thing. I didn't do all that. Do I need it? I'm not too sure whether I really need it. The beer I'm going to be reviewing at the last minute because I had to sneak something in at 7 o'clock and I didn't really plan one, but I thought, hey, I'm going to get this in because I've been promising myself this one for quite some time. And it is a collaboration by Brewdog and Deya called In Two Minds. Yes, it's been around for a while, but it's kind of hard to come by unless you go to a Brewdog, or you order it somewhere weird, right? It's not when you just stumble across. So if you're going to get it and you've never had it before, well, hopefully this is a good reference for you to have some bias in advance of that. Okay, well, let's get things started. All right, here we go. Here's the beast. In Two Minds, OverWorks. Love the art. Come on, it's great. I got this because my mate Jacob went to Brewdog, drove all the way up to the actual Brewdog, and we can see you get actually a really great description of what we're expecting here, right? Deya, mastery of hop and haze, of course, yes. Our fanatical focus on funk. That's great alliteration. I wouldn't say I associate Brewdog with that, but nevertheless, dry hopped with Citra, infused with grapefruit zest, modern hop flavor, complexity of Brettanomyces, which is a weird yeast I associate with Belgian beers, and an in-house sour culture. So what's interesting about this one, right? I say it's been around a while, but this doesn't really fit the profile. So I think this is a new version of this particular beer. And by the way, if you're looking at me looking like I got my the living shit kicked out of me, it's because I have shingles, which is like adult chicken pox. So all these like welts, they kind of, there's one there, they go all up in and then they go all across my head and they hurt like a little, man, they hurt. It's not cool, but I'm here. I'm still drinking beer. That's how committed I am to the cause. I haven't done anything for a while, I know, but man, weird stuff keeps happening to me. So I thought, not again. I'm still going to do this. I'm going to open this up now with the worst opener that I could ever find. This is an awful opener. All right. Bail out on that opener, I think, and use my first opener. Always have multiple openers. Check out the Mario opener. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hard to even tell. Wait, I had it the wrong way around. Pixelated Mario with opener. That's it's not the smoothest and easiest opener to use, but there's a wow factor when you I was gonna say when you whip it out. That sounds really bad. When you use it. All right. Smells like a sour. They're calling it an IPA. I'll explain why I think it's different in 2 seconds. So they said master of hop and haze. I agree. I love Deya. Say what you want about Brewdog. They do some pretty good collaborations. And I've got my little Brewdog glass for the occasion. It's got a nice little amber color, doesn't it? Lovely little pop-like head on it. Certainly lively. And I'm going to give a little smelly smell. And yeah, maybe I'll turn this way so you don't look at my head. It does have a certain, I don't want to say funk because then I'm falling into their trap, but I say that word anyway, so it's probably okay that I say it in this particular instance. It smells Belgian. Is that a thing? It's got that kind of champagne yeast. Well, okay, so people, when you go on Untapped and it gives you an option in the tasting notes for Brett, right? This is what they're talking about. But it's kind of obvious like that I should put that on this one because they're outright saying this is the yeast we're going to use. So I'm not a big fan of sour beers, not the outright candy-like ones. That I just met a friend and he almost he came out to me as a sour beer lover. And it's cool, man. It's cool. It was strange that he just loves sour beers, and I think isn't a beer. I think that's a thing. Sour beers are for people who don't really like beer, but I think there's people who love everything. So this right away, I was worried about it. It was a 5.8%. My sour beers I'm a big fan of almost across the board are things like Berliner Weiss, but they're normally like 2-point-something%, really low, very light in the sour, slightly fruity, beautiful on a hot day, right? This, it I don't know where IPA comes from, like where that comes from, the title. It's actually really good. It's like a Berliner Weiss. It doesn't taste like 5 point anything. It tastes really light in the alcohol. They're saying it's Citra-infused, and that's where I am slightly confused. So I did a little digging beforehand, and I caught, let's find it, this. Let me share it with you. There is, you can buy it at Master of Malt here. Well, you can't anymore. Let's say it's sold out. But see, they're all talking about their house strain of Brettanomyces, Cher. I mean, hey, ooh, okay. Does it say Citra? I don't. It says citrus sour, brewed with U.S. and German hops, not made clear. And there was an article back here from 2019. Shows you how old this is. But I don't see them outright foeder aged. There we go. You have to watch, if you want to know what a foeder is, you have to watch a previous episode. That's my teaser, where I describe in detail what that actually means. You're probably thinking barrel or something, and you'd probably be pretty right. So 5.8, citrus sour. Is it the same? There we go. Italian oak foeders for 4 months. Yeah, it's quite unique and quite good. Hazy golden beer. Okay, so maybe this is the same one, but it's certainly a modern, random brewing of it. And that's not the one I've had. All right, so let's get rid of that and bring it back. So it's kind of surprising. Like I was waiting for so much offense, I suppose, is the deal here. It's barely sour. It's barely funky. It's kind of got a yeasty champagne feel or sparkling wine, but I do mean champagne. I mean like a grassiness to it and an earthiness to it, which is a bit of the funk, and it comes from the yeast. And it's light. It doesn't taste boozy. I don't associate it with an IPA at all, unless of course the fact that we're thinking like a super retro IPA, like going more back to the origins of IPA, and not a modern American one. But otherwise, it was, so you saw it was $7.95. It's a 500 ml bottle. That's worth knowing in terms of your value for money. But it's only £5, 5.8%. So if you're willing to pay £8, now I can't imagine what it would be on tap. Probably a lot. For a beer like this, I would say if you're looking to splash out, you want something a little different, super refreshing, go for it. If you're on a budget, I don't think it's that spectacularly amazing. It's just like a good beer, given all the weird bits and bobs that went into making a beer that certainly neither Brewdog or Deya make on a regular basis. So it's properly a weird craft. It's not that overworked, but it's quite cool. And it's why I drink beer, is to taste weird things like this that I go, yeah, that's great. It's not like my fridge filler, but it's super awesome to be trying today on a weirdly warm, slightly cloudy, post-heat wave, shingle-headed Thursday evening. All right. I'm probably going to give it, if I just went to an Untapped score, out of 10. I would do it out of 10, even though Untapped's out of 5. I get more granularity that way. I'd probably give it a 7.2. Maybe bump it up to 7.4. 7.4 feels better. So, it's not knocking my socks off, but I like it. I love the art, so maybe I'll bump it up for that. But generally, that is the end. I hope you enjoyed this one. I try to keep it under 10 minutes these days, always, and I did. So, my name's Steve Giguère. If you like what I do, then check me out on Twitter. And I'm Steve Giguère on Untapped. You can't really miss me. I like to get more Untapped friends, so I get better recommendations all the time. But until I next do a review, I'll let you know that I'm off to Boston on Saturday. So maybe I'm going to wish I checked a bag. I'm going to try and get some actual New England IPAs. I've never been in the Boston area since doing this show. So I'm an idiot not to try and do some beer reviews, right? It's always so busy. And then a week later, I'm in Las Vegas again, where I failed to order some beers, which are skateboard beers. I'm going to try it again, a second attempt, and I'm going to bring a bag so I can bring some beers back. I'm over 10 minutes. That is the end. I think a second viewer just joined. Oh, well, you have to rewatch it on YouTube. Go like and subscribe. That is the end. Steve out.